Hello again, everyone. This is Bob Martin, the RCSubGuy with the NautilusDryDocks.com, and this is going to be another one of my Bob's Tips video. And the focus of this video is going to be on linkages and making them easily adjustable. So one of the big things that you need to make sure that you keep in mind when you're engineering the linkages for your RC submarine, or any RC vehicle for that matter, are a couple of things. The first one is free moving appendages to make sure that there is no binding at all. And the second thing is ensuring that you've got a high degree of adjustability in the linkages so that when you set them up, you get optimal throw. I'm going to show you a really easy way to incorporate adjustable linkages into your build, and it doesn't require any special parts other than a plated wheel collar and a Dremel cutoff tool. So let's take a look at this build that I've got on my desk, and I'll show you what I mean. Okay, this is the back end of an OTW Valiant class submarine kit that I'm getting geared up for a customer. What you can see I've got in here is my watertight cylinder. This is the aft motor bulkhead that you can see just on the corner of your screen. And then I've got two linkage outputs here. First part of the adjustability, what I went ahead and did is I put some threaded couplers on the back there that these magnetic couplers screw into. So once you do that, that magnetic coupler can be moved forward and backwards simply by screwing or unscrewing that particular piece. So that gives you about 1/4 of an inch forward and back of adjustability in your linkage. Now the other way that you can go about creating an adjustable linkage, you can see what I've done in this part right here, and hopefully it will focus on this for you. There we go. So you see this plated wheel collar, and then right under it you see this notch that I've cut out with my Dremel cutoff wheel. The idea is that this wheel collar will go right over that notch so that the set screw passes beyond the outer edge of the brass tubing and into the linkage in the back of the boat. So I'll just give this a second to focus. This right here is the linkage rod for my rudder. It's 1/16 diameter. The tube that I showed you here a little bit earlier slips right over the top. I believe it's 3/32 of an inch diameter, and that just slips right over the top like that. So if we slide this back, you can see I've already mounted the other end of the magnetic coupler right here, and it is going to go click right onto the output for the rudder. Now all I need to do is set my wheel collar in place, tighten it down, making sure that my rudder is perfectly centered. And now we have got a locked down linkage that goes from the rudder to the output. And if I ever needed to adjust it, again, two spots, one at the set screw, you loosen it off, slide that rod forward and backward, or you can screw the adjustable linkage connector in or out in the back there. So here is the completed linkage assembly in the back of this boat. We've got the rudder on the far right side. We've got our rear dive planes on the center, and then we've got forward dive planes right here. And I'll just show you how I did that just for fun. Again, talking about adjustability. So this is basically a U-shaped connector. Slides over that threaded rod, and it tightens down with that set screw, so you can adjust this forward and backward. Connects magnetically because this is all integrated into the motor bulkhead. When you pull the motor bulkhead out, it'll disconnect so that you don't pull this entire rod out when you need to get into the cylinder. And that just runs, again, there's an adjustable connection right there. and right there. And that runs up to the front. The bow paintings snap into that when the upper hull gets put down. And that is it. So that is adjustable linkage setup, just using some brass rod, some brass tube, and a plated wheel collar. Well, there you go, everyone. I hope you found this little tutorial helpful. If you have any questions or comments, by all means, you can leave a comment on the video, but the best way to get a hold of me is to send me an email, bob@rc-sub.com. I would love to hear from you. Thanks for joining me. Again, my name is Bob Martin, the RC Sub Guy with the NautilusDryDocks.com. Thanks for joining me. We will catch you next time.